Hello everyone, and welcome to Coliseum of Chaos Day 4! I can't believe it's actually Day 4 already. My name is Lolo Railalarai, and I am joined by the wonderful Lorike Lamenta. Hey Lori, how are you?
Well, hello there. I'm glad to be here again with you, and I truly be thankful that you enjoy my company so much. I also enjoy yours, and I'm really excited for casting these matches today.
What a sweetie, what a sweetie. Yeah, I think tonight's going to be quite interesting. Last time we went with Barney and London. There were some good games, ultimately quite a quick stream, quite a lot of quick matches, but looking at tonight's kind of matches and leaderboards, there's going to be quite a few interesting ones, I think. Particularly ones that involve the teams that are around 2nd or 3rd place, like the lads and polling for Sister Rosarias. They're going to be ones to kind of watch out for, I think, and it's going to be quite exciting to see. But we're just going to quickly pop us over once more, just very quickly, to the rules screen. Rules, as you guys all know, are the same as usual. So it's not a best of 5, it's not a best of 3. People are getting very confused over this. It is actually a game. Each match consists of 4 games, or each game consists of 4 matches even. So it means that there is a possibility for people to draw. So if a team wins, they get 3 points. If they draw, it is 2. If they lose, they get 1 point. So it really just opens up a lot of possibilities on the leaderboard in regards to where teams are going to be standing, where teams are going to be placing, which is kind of cool, which I really appreciate. There's also the opportunity of choosing a map. So far we have had the default Crystal Tower training ground for every single game except for one match where Lishenweed came in. And to be honest, I was saying to my team yesterday and the other day that if you're against a really good team, why not choose a map that is like unfavorable, you know? Why not go to the old feasting ground maps? Why not go to Lishenweed? Why not put just everyone in a really unfamiliar situation? And especially because the old maps, they are not very Black Mage caster friendly at all. There's a lot of just big walls, long walls. But maybe that's just me thinking too tactically. But the rules are, as you guys will know from the previous 3 days streaming, they are all very simple to undertake, and the rewards are pretty good. Over 180 euros worth of Mug Station items thanks to some lovely donations. 70 million gil, in-game items, hand-drawn portraits of your character from the one and only artiste Totoro Toro, which is like an amazing reward. So it's just a lot up for grabs. This is the highest amount of rewards that we've had for any community-led tournament ever, I believe, across the world. So this is pretty intense, and the prizes go all the way down to 7th place. So there's a lot for grabs, and it's just really nice to kind of get all of the community involved. We also can show you our ladder qualification screen, where we can see where the teams are currently standing against each other. All of the teams except for one have actually been playing. They've all played except for one, and that one team is 3%, which I hope I am pronouncing correctly. With my, it's hard being multilingual like me, but they will actually be playing their debut matches tonight, which is pretty exciting. And actually, there's actually a mistake on this leaderboard, because you'll see that my team, Icarus, is actually listed as 6th, and that is just, if anyone watched the stream the other night, we dominated. So I don't know why we're 6th. I'll be having a word with Kiwi after the games tonight, because yeah, that's just a blatant mistake. We are not 6th. We are definitely not 6th. But ultimately, the teams are pretty. There's quite a lot of wins, quite a lot of losses throughout the board, which is evening it up. And I actually think the most exciting matches are going to come between the matches that are up for second and third place. You know, looking at teams such as Skinny Legends, Hypno Squirrel, or looking at people like the Newbie Hunters and the Lads, those kind of teams, I think they're going to have really interesting matches when they go against each other. And we've got a few interesting lineups tonight as well, which I am excited to see. Are there any teams that are like kind of standing out for you, Laurie, so far?
Aftermath, of course.
Yeah.
I think, as always, those matches will be a pure show of dominance, and I would be so excited for them to maybe be a little bit overconfident and fall and have their first loss.
Oh yeah,
today.
You've got to root for the underdogs, haven't you? You've got to root for the underdogs. But the Aftermath are going to be playing tonight, actually in the first match as well. So let's have a little look, because we do have our teams kind of ready to go, all waiting in the wings. So let's have a little look and see who are in the first teams tonight. First off, please introduce to the arena, once again, Aftermath. And that is Aftermath, who are currently undefeated in Bracket A, sitting there comfortably in position 1. And their opponents for tonight, please welcome back to the arena, Phantom Pack. And that is Phantom Pack. Some teams there, some players there that we've recognised from quite a long time ago. Players that have been playing for a fair few seasons. We are about to go into the match. As I dash directly to the match screen. And like I was saying, there's a few players there that have been playing for a while, but also some players that are fairly new. Players that have been playing since only around season 18, which isn't that long ago. So it's good to see how many newer players there are recently, which we have seen just in general. Again, we are seeing, however, very similar teams here, exactly the same team composition on both sides, with that Gunbreaker, White Mage, Dragoon, and Black Mage. Although it's looking like Sykes might be switching, or there might be some changes of combinations over on Phantom Pack's side there. What are you thinking so far, Laurie?
I think so far they have to try and not get pushed in so much with the pressure of the Black Mage and Dragoon together. And having a Bard on your side will be hard to heal if you are not properly pressuring the enemy. I think Environment is going to have a tough time if his team isn't able to adjust to that.
Yeah, I agree. There's definitely strong potential there to keep up a lot of pressure against a Black Mage Dragoon combination when you have a Bard, but it's whether or not they can really silence at efficient times, not only offensively, but defensively as well. Kino going down extremely low there. Taru just holding on, not really doing much healing there at the beginning, trying to get those preemptive Dias out onto the enemy team. Seems like they're going on to Sykes. The Sykes possibly around, but they're switching down onto Core. Core getting that stun. Going down with that dart extremely low, but managing to survive. Really nicely healed from Environment there, who's managing to conserve onto their MP quite well.
Yeah, I love the quick protect coming out. The prediction that, of course, your range is always in danger at the first start of the burst. They really hold back at the first burst to try and bait it out, but it was a good prediction, and so they managed to live. But now we have to watch out after all the additions are out and Core getting bursted again.
Yeah, Core going down extremely low. They were keeping that pressure up, and you could see Nami running in to try and just finish off that burst there, which means that a dart is incoming, but unfortunately there wasn't really anything that either Core or Environment could do, with both protects being down, as well as something like a bind, which could also just help stop the Black Mage from encroaching inwards. They are keeping up that pressure on Phantom Pack right now, though. Phantom Pack kind of being stuck in their base, but they are retreating down. The box is showing up now in 2 seconds, but they're trying to get another burst out on Core. Core going down extremely low, down to 698 HP there, but managing to survive as Aftermath back off a little bit to try and secure those boxes.
They're really trying to farm that range, trying to maintain that pressure, because Environment uses a lot of resources on their range, and they're not managing to get back really any pressure, except now suddenly a good counter burst.
Yeah, really nice counter burst there.
It was really needed.
Yeah, managing to get Kino down before the protect can really have any effect whatsoever. A really late protect there, going down instantly, which has really put Phantom Pack in a nice situation as they try to keep up that counter pressure. But it looks like Aftermath is going back on the Vengeance. Nami getting extremely low though, but managing to kill Sykes, which is really unfortunate. That Rampart just a split second too late.
It's funny because he tried to LOS to Black Mage and still managed to die. I think it was a really big misplay there, and those kills that just happened were I think all unexpected. Now with Limit Break getting up, we're going to see, I think, another kill soon, maybe a double LB, because Aftermath is really coordinated in these regards.
Yeah, they're falling back, hopefully to try and get that Wolf's Heart for both teams. Environment and Taru both holding around the same kind of MP there, but Taru snatching that Wolf's Heart, which is definitely going to be a major plus. Nami falling back as they try to push in, but it looks like they're going to get that kind of burst out on Kinos. Kinos going down with that Phantom Dart, that Sun going out, managing to survive a really nicely timed arm's length there. However, overlapping that arm's length with the Protect and that Bloodbath means that they have now no defensives. They're getting Nami down extremely low. Nami going down low as they try and gamble that melee LB onto Kino. Nice comeback.
Really? Yeah, I didn't expect Nami going to die there, but Nami just really standed really offensively. I think Taru wasn't expecting that at all.
Yeah, they were definitely positioning themselves to try and get that melee LB off, but unfortunately just got caught off guard completely. I don't think any of them were really expecting that, and it has given them a little bit more time to recover now, because Protect is soon to be back up, Arm's Length is back up now as well. Reprisal is back up alongside a tank LB. They're going for that double LB, trying to get that out. Unfortunately, not having much luck there, however, with that melee LB getting slapped.
It's still staying excited, and I love this match already, because you can see that there is still plenty of chances for Phantom to come back and actually beat Aftermath.
Yeah, that Protect going out there alongside that Reprisal and Bloodbath. It is meaning that right now they're in a pretty unfortunate position with nothing to really use to protect. Core there, Core going down instantly. Yeah, that was something that you could see it coming. They used way too many things all at once, which isn't what you want to do when you're all being held back in your base, because it just opens you up to a really easy hard swap.
Now it's going to be even harder because they're so pushed in.
Oh.
There's no ward for you to use, even though you get the defensively bonus if you're in the base. It doesn't help much if you can't use your wards, I guess.
Yeah, unfortunately, Phantom Pack just falling into that trap of falling back to your base way too soon. There's no walls to use there in the base, unfortunately, and it's just meant that they have just lost all of their pressure that they worked so hard for throughout the entire game.
Yeah, now Aftermath got all the momentum to close up the game and just put on pressure and roll over Phantom Pack. Now, it will be hard to win back in the last 30 seconds, and
Yeah.
I don't foresee really a comeback here.
Yeah, it's looking like the first match of the evening is going to go directly to Aftermath. But to be honest, I am surprised at just how much of a fight Phantom Pack managed to put up there against, you know, the predominantly dominant team of the entire competition.
That was great start. I agree with that, and I can only say this is just a warm-up, and it can only get better from here on now.
Yeah, exactly. For the first match, that was a really good showing there from Phantom Pack, and they nearly stole it. Unfortunately, they did just fall back to their base a little bit too soon, and it meant that they just unfortunately collapsed. When you're in the base and you're getting hit by from all angles with no sign of LOS, it's very easy to do what Phantom Pack did there, which is basically just pop everything. Protect, Bloodbath, Reprisal, all at once. And unfortunately, as soon as you've used all of them, there's nothing else that's going to save you for the next minute.
I think that shows that they're really afraid and play a bit too cautiously. I think they should just push and do damage and not really care about dying so much that they overuse their tools. So if they would play a bit more, let's say, recklessly, I think they will be able to put a lot of pressure on the enemy team and make them really cautious.
Yeah, I agree. If there's one thing that Aftermath are extremely proficient at, just steamrolling, they are not going to give up that pressure regardless. So if you fall back and allow them to just keep wailing on your team, you're in for a bad time. You need to try and scare them off a little bit, especially with that Dragoon Black Mage combination.
If you were having a heat map, you would see that they are always on the Phantom Pack's side of the map all the time. It will seldom a situation where they're pushed into Aftermath space. And right now we can also see that they are always fighting near the stairs. And it will be really hard for Environment with that CC on him.
Yeah, Environment getting caught extremely off guard there, just getting caught straight on that stairs as they hard swap onto them. A really unfortunate situation there as they're going to probably get that follow-up directly on Core now. Core managing to survive for as long as he can with his pots, but unfortunately it just is not enough. A pretty unfortunate start there, but they have got 5 minutes left to just try and keep up this pressure now.
Yeah, but that's what I thought, that if you are too cautiously trying to stay in your base, then you might get catch off guard on the stairs like just now. And Environment getting steamrolled over, not being able to pull off any protect or repulse. I think that Reprisal would have been useful there with maybe a peel stun.
They're going to need to use some kind of tool. But ultimately what they need to do is they need to get out of this base. Against a Black Mage and Dragoon, just standing in the open in your base is a very dreadful situation. They're trying to push them back now, going for Nami, which is a very smart option. Nami getting that instant protect as they try and secure those boxes. Sykes managing to secure one, but it looks like Aftermath is just keeping up that pressure. Phantom Pack cannot get out of this base.
I like that they stopped bursting after they saw the protect on Nami. Or now they should be applying a lot of pressure on the Black Mage instead of the Dragoon, because right now you really want to help your healer be relieved and take a breath so you can start pushing again.
Yeah, you're going to want to really try and take advantage of just how fragile casters and ranged are. And with Nami just sitting there in the base in the open, it's a very easy opportunity to just try and get them out there to panic them. Really nice double CC there going out on Nami, but Nami managing to counteract that with a drain, which manages to just tip Kino over the edge. And it's looking like this is not going as well as the previous game.
Yeah, unfortunately. I think Aftermath just also got warmed up and have taken them a little bit more seriously than last game.
Yeah, they're
No.
just, they have not been able to leave their base a single time. Managing to get that counterburst on Kino, though. That was, I did not see that coming. That is given Environment such a healthy bit of recovery now, because look at his MP, although he is not going to get that Wolf's Heart. Ardo is down there, ready to strike onto that. They need to hopefully try and secure it, but that was a nice comeback.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I thought it funny because I said that they were not like they were like cautious, not getting killed, but at the same time, Kinomoto forgot to press his additionals and were too overconfident.
Yeah, I think they got a little bit blindsided with that death there, and it did come back to hit them in the face. Sykes got extremely low there. Really nicely played Rampart, but they are switching now onto Core. Core going down extremely low, managing to stay alive, but it doesn't look like there's really any defensives. Sykes holding on to that reprisal and that tank LB, knowing that he's going to need it at a very pivotal time, with that LB soon to be coming from Aftermath.
There's so much pressure on Kinomoto. I think
Oh my
they should
gosh!
go for Nami.
Yes! Kinomoto going down again for a second time. Phantom Pack slowly recovering those medals and slowly getting that pressure on. Finally able to leave their base and pushing into Aftermaths.
It was a great kill, but honestly, you wanted to kill the Black Mage, and with the resources spent on the Dragoon, I don't know if there's enough time to come back now. With all the adrenaline up.
Taru going down extremely low. Oh my gosh. Potentially dying. Managing to get that counterburst out on Core. Hoping that Core can survive there. No protect. However, Core is going down to 1k HP. Getting lower and lower. Good tank LB there. But is it going to be enough as that LB comes out and just finishes him off? There was no way that Core was going to survive that.
Have you seen that overconfidence of Taru? Normally, usually, player would just press the tank LB or healer LB, use protect. The only thing Taru used was self-healing and a reposement.
Yeah, that was a gamble there, but that was a gamble. They got extremely low, managing to survive, but it was because they were just trying to get that counterburst out as hard as they can to try and secure that win. There is a possibility that Phantom Pack can secure this again, but unfortunately, Kino goes down, which is definitely cementing this as a second win for Aftermath. But another really good fight there from Phantom Pack, who recovered from almost a near 600 in the first minute and a half.
I think because they realized they don't have anything really to lose anymore, that they just pushed in, and I love that mentality, and they should go in the next match with that mentality and try to secure a win with that.
And I think they could. I really do think they could. They definitely just got some insane momentum during the middle of this match, and that was a fantastic recovery. Unfortunately, the second match is, however, going once again to Bracket A's current champions, Aftermath, which means that Phantom Pack are going to be unable to win this match, but there is still a possibility of a draw, and with how low they got Taru there, they could have easily snatched that game.
Yeah, the potential is definitely there, and there are like these little moments where Taru catch off guard, and they managed to kill Kinomoto several times. They should repeat that, definitely.
I think so. I think just looking at the damage going out, you can see that I feel Aftermath just got completely caught off guard in a lot of those deaths. Taru doing nearly 110k damage, and I think when they got really low, they perhaps realised, oh, actually, Phantom Pack are putting up a really good fight. Maybe we do just need to play a little bit more defensively, because Kinomoto going down twice was I wasn't expecting it.
Same. And when that happened, you see they have been pushing back, not hanging out in that corridor with the massive amount of AoE's Dragoon or Black Mage pack in. It was way better for environment to heal than getting pushed back in there, because after that they could have utilized the wards better and such, and even put a lot of pressure of Taru going nearly down.
Yeah, I agree. What Phantom Pack really need to try and do now is just not get stuck into their base. They need to try as hard as they can to just not get bullied so far back, because that nearly led to a 600 in the first minute and a half of the game. They need to keep that pressure up and not let Aftermath just simply walk over them.
Now they are meeting again, but this time more in the middle, and I hope now that the countdown is...
It looks like their Taru has
selected.
potentially DC'd right now, it seems. Or they're just posing for a screenshot. It could be either one of them. They are back moving now, though. It seems like everyone is okay. And if everyone is okay to go, I think they can carry this game on.
I don't think we are going to see a rematch now, depending on what the situation is. Yeah, we're going to restart the match.
Yeah, it's looking like this might be just a quick restart, I believe, for these teams, as that was a DC in the first 10 seconds of the game. So it's probably best if they just try to potentially draw this out and 600 it, so we can just get straight back in and not count this one as one of the matches, if that is what both teams agree to, which it seems like it will be.
Unfortunate situation, but such things happen all the time. I'm glad we managed to resolve this quickly.
They could have at least let Phantom Pack get the win.
Yeah, this is just bullying, man.
They could have been team players and at least let Phantom Pack get a win, you know? Like...
Yeah, it looks like there were issues on Tyler's part.
But yeah, we are gonna do this game again. Hopefully, it seems like everyone is gonna be okay. Everyone has agreed to play again. I think it was just Taru that was unfortunately DCing there, and it looks like they're okay now. So this will be the actual third match.
A quick death is a merciful death.
You know, Aftermath just, you know, flexing, had to get that 600. But no, like I was saying, what needs to happen in this game right now is Phantom Pack need to keep up that pressure, because when they get that pressure going and they start to get the ball rolling, it really helps. And they nearly snatched a win there. And in both games, have put up a really good fight. Really well-coordinated bursts from all of them, actually. And keeping up that pressure throughout. But what they need to do is just not fall back into that base, especially when you're against a Dragoon and Black Mage. It's just not going to put you in a good situation. Hopefully, they can keep that pressure up, get the Wolf's Heart, and maybe snatch a cheeky win.
Or maybe we have seen a glimpse of the behind the stage team of Phantoms. They are pulling the strings to delay Taru's heals and make him lag to win this bit.
Maybe it was the plan. Like, it was the plan to almost get 600'd and then snap back. Take them off guard. Everyone going in right now. Nami pushing in, as you can tell that that big burst is going to be coming out very shortly onto Phantom Pack's side. Aftermath holding on to their burst right now as they slowly get out there. That's it. The burst going out instantly on Core. Core getting stunned. A really nice sleep there on Environment and a nice stun on Core, which meant that that Protect was out just unfortunately far too late. They are again keeping up that pressure now. Kinos doing a nice arm's length, running around the stairs, trying to survive as best as they can. Environment really low on resources though, as the entire team of Phantom Pack has nothing really to give defensively. They need to try and keep that pressure up now, because with no reprisal, no protect, and no arm's length, they are not going to survive for much longer if they don't do anything. Sykes going down! Oh! Getting caught before he can pop that rampart.
I think what's hard is that Environment is standing alone in the base, and with the double sleep, the CC is really harsh, and the kill is going to be expected. So maybe it would have been better if Environment stays in there, get AoE'd, so there's no possibility to get slapped and only get stunned.
Yeah, what they need to do is they need to try and get out of this base. because Environment is not going to be able to heal, and unfortunately Core going down there as well. But we did see a very similar situation in the last game, so it could still be up for grabs if Phantom Pack just get out of that base. They are running down there now, Environment leading that charge out of the stairs. They try and get those boxes. They need to stay in the middle, because unfortunately those stairs are not your friend.
I'm having a fun time because there was seemingly a miscommunication. It was going to take the medals on Aftermath side, so they kind of got pushed out. But right now, they're getting pushed in right back again. But I hope Phantom Dart is okay. I hope they will be pushing against. But every time I see that dart coming out, Core is dying. So gotta use that ward properly and try to predict when to go out to be more safe, because it's really hard to hear if
that protect and that arm's length going out there, but that was not on the dart burst, so it just means that Aftermath Nami going down instantly, managing to get that counter burst, finally getting a really nice hard swap onto Nami as they just sit there in the open hard casting. They are needing to punish that like they did there. And this is putting them in a really nice position, meaning that they can position themselves back in the middle for that Wolf's Heart box, which is going to be spawning now in 1 second, although it's looking like this could potentially be another one for Taru. Yep, Taru managing to get the Wolf's Heart for a third time in a row as Aftermath tries to push them back into their base. Environment getting slept, Sykes getting that dart burst, going down instantly, unfortunately. That reprisal not being enough. Oh, very painful to see.
It really is. I think Taru is still lacking a bit because I didn't anticipate Nami's death with Protect and Repose up, but it would have been a good point to start getting momentum against Aftermath.
Yeah, Environment doing the smart thing here of trying to lead the enemy team back into the base, but the enemy team isn't really having any of it, pushing directly back into the base to get that cheeky kill on Kinos there, who was just unfortunately at the top of the stairs. It's looking like this is going to potentially be another sweep, unless they can get another kill.
Wait, it's not 600? It's not 600 yet, so
not
potentially...
Yet.
Potentially, if they manage to hack Taru's computer, they may manage to turn this around.
They definitely have it in them. Phantom Pack definitely have it in them, but they just need to keep that pressure up. That LB going out now, a double LB going out, going down onto Taru. Taru going low, but unfortunately Kinos getting stuck with that motion lock, which means that it is Aftermath's victory for the first match of the evening with an unfortunate 600, but a really nice play there and a really nice showing from Phantom Pack, who honestly... definitely impressed me.
Same for me. I'm glad they could do these off guard kills, because usually you would get steamrolled like that, but they're still putting up the fight, so I can appreciate that a lot.
Yeah, that was... I was not expecting for Aftermath to kind of struggle as much as they did at certain points throughout that game. Which was just, it was really good to see. Especially a team that isn't as experienced, such as Phantom Pack. They managed to get in some fantastic kills there, but unfortunately just fell down to the powers that are Aftermath. As soon as you let Aftermath get into your base, they are not going to leave unless you keep up that pressure and try and snatch a kill in return. And that's what we saw there. Unfortunately, Phantom Pack could just not get out of their base, but a really nice showing, so really well played. GG's from all of those teams involved.
I think these teams need a little bit more confidence, and I'm sure they are able to put up a fight against Aftermath and such similar veteran teams.
Yeah, we could see it there, especially as soon as you just start keeping up that pressure, it really does mean that you can deny a lot of bursts, especially from something such as a Black Mage. A Black Mage definitely still needs to be in an open position to try and get out all of their bursts. So if you can really take advantage of that and manage to catch them before they get out that Phantom Dart, you can really turn the tides of the game. But if you wait and just let them free cast you, as soon as that Phantom Dart goes out in the open, there's not really much you can do. But that was an amazing game there, so good job to Aftermath, who, again, are undefeated in this tournament. Very nicely played, and good job to Phantom Pack. Our next game of the evening is hopefully going to be just as equally excited. We do have Phantom Pack, who are all warmed up, all ready to go, against a debuting team, 3%. Am I saying it correctly?
I don't know. It
You're
could
like,
be
nah.
anything. You could also have like a really different pronunciation depending on their origins.
Oh, see, that's what confused me, because I was like, you know, I'm very multilingual, so I just didn't know what the origins were, and I know that it can sound very differently depending on the origins, so that's why I got confused. But
But American English and British English is quite different themselves too, aren't they? Like, how would you pronounce it? Tomato, or hands, or Hans?
I would say tomato myself. Tomato. It's not tomato. Tomato is like American.
Right.
You gotta be posh. Tomato.
So I think there's different kind of French too, like Canadian French, African French, French.
French.
Or
But while we wait for the teams to join, actually we have them already. Let's have a little look and just remind ourselves of who is in these teams. You have seen them once today already, and they put up a really good fight. Please welcome back Phantom Pack. Really nicely played in that last match, and Phantom Pack are warmed up, ready to go, ready to face their opponents, who are debuting tonight for the first time in the Coliseum of Chaos. Please welcome 3%. A lot of familiar names there. Names that we've seen through a lot of seasons. Some fairly newer players and some fairly older players as well that have been playing for, I quote, a long time. Or so their introduction screen says. I'm excited to see what is happening, and we might actually have some interesting jobs that are going into this match. So let's have a little look and switch over to the match scene for the second game of the evening.
It would be so exciting. Now, Phantom are filled with rage, and they will be leashing that out and demolish the 3% team.
The 3%. That's what I'm gonna call them. Instead of demolishing their name like I have been, I am gonna make it 3%.
3%.
We actually have a machinist, which is quite interesting. I don't know if have we seen a machinist so far in Coliseum of Chaos? I'm trying to think. Ultimately, it's been very Black Mage dominated, with quite a few bards, actually. So it'll be interesting to see how a machinist is going to be playing, especially in a game like this. It's going to be quite an interesting one. Like you said, Phantom Pack are warmed up, they're ready to go, and they did put up a really good fight against arguably one of the toughest teams in the competition. So if I was 12%, I would be pretty scared.
Definitely. Imagine warming up against a beast and then go against for a human fight, I guess.
Literally. Like, I would be scared. Oh, and Adalric popping at arm's length very early there as they go in, trying to get that counterburst out onto Core. Core getting a nice protect, though, as they hard swap onto Angsty. Angsty getting quite low, but both teams really holding on to their main burst, waiting for that protect and that arm's length to fall off before they go in. Both teams have used their protect. That protect going out now onto the machinist. It's looking like they are trying to do a hard swap on Core. Quite a slow start right now, as both teams seem to really be sizing each other up in the middle.
Well, I've seen a protect going out on the machinist, but there wasn't any bursts yet, and after they run out, the countdown on the machinist was well done, so they could have really instantly deleted them.
Yeah, Phantom Pack really taking advantage of the fact that 3% kind of used all of their defensives very early on in the fight, waiting for them to go on before they just went straight in there to get a kill. That burst going out onto Sykes, but really no damage kind of going out right now. Sykes predicting that extremely well as they hard swap onto Adalric. Adalric going down extremely low considering he has Protect. Going down, unfortunately.
Phantom
Those stair
really
games.
Confident. They're really confident. I mean, they're pushing back the enemy team, the 3%, all the way into the corridor, and even then getting a kill.
Yeah, considering last game where Phantom Pack just couldn't even leave their base, it seems like they're really pushing into this game. Oh, that nice home game, just pushing Kinos back there. Kinos are popping a good arm's length as they try and just silence Anxiety defensively there. It seems like both teams are kind of keeping up a nice little bit amount of pressure, but they're holding on to their main burst. That main burst going out now, and Anxiety getting stunned, but Megumi holding on to that protect as they try and get a counter burst out onto Kino. Kino trying to run back, but ultimately surviving pretty healthily.
It was a good peel because right when they were bursting, Kino got CC'd a lot, so they couldn't reach Anxiety and their bursts were out of sync.
Yeah, there was some really good peeling there, actually, and so far, Phantom Pack have been really successful in managing to pinpoint exactly when to target 3%'s weak spots. And right now, 3% are in a pretty bad position, really relying on Kuro to use their reprisal at a good time, because there are no other defensives that are coming up anytime soon.
Honestly, I'm a little bit salty because Phantom is so confident right now. What they missed last game, they are showing this game what they are capable of.
They are showing that for sure, with that LP taking Kuro down as they are on 550 medal lead. That Wolf's Heart is coming up, which would be a really nice addition for Environment, and it looks like Core is managing to secure that for them. Yep, Environment managing to get that Wolf's Heart. Adalric going down quite low, popping that arm's length, but overlapping it with a Protect and a Tank LB, which is probably going to put them in a really bad situation as they really do need to just keep pushing in order to try and stop Phantom Pack.
I love that they're pushing right now because they don't have much to lose now and they're applying that pressure. The combo of Samurai and Machinist can be really scary, especially when the wildfire's up and the sudden Midare on any team member just explodes them.
That LB going out, Core getting extremely low, but managing to survive. Environment, Cure 2 spamming as best they can, yet managing to keep him up. But they are in an unfortunate situation. With a 550 medal lead, they do not need to just be sticking back in their base with 2 minutes left. They need to try and push and get another kill, because this could go south very fast.
I've seen a Protect going on Altric, although our Anxiety might have needed that much more. Now pressure is a lot on and we might see a death.
And that's exactly what we did see. Yeah, unfortunately, that Protect going out onto Adalric. Anxiety suffering there as he gets burst, which is putting Phantom Pack in just a really fantastic position, especially with 5 seconds left to secure those 2 remaining boxes of the game. A nice arm's length there from Adalric as he backs up into the base and manages to recover a fair bit of stability in their health. It looks like Phantom Pack, however, is just dominating these boxes in the Wolf's Heart and just the game in general. Environment getting that feint, holding on to that Protect because he has a really healthy Temperance there. Yep, he looks unfazed right now. They're trying to get that counterburst onto Adalric. Really nice Protect there on Adalric. But Adalric falling back, and it looks like they are falling once more onto that pressure. They need to push in one more death, and this will potentially be a 600.
I think with so much up now for Phantom, they just need to push in and try to keep that momentum going and secure a win with that.
Oh, fantastic bind right there into the ranged LB and a physical LB, but really nicely healed from Megumi. Unfortunately, it just was enough. It wasn't enough, and that is a 600 for Phantom Pack.
Well, it's hard. Having a feint instead of Bloodbath can really reduce a lot of healing that's needed with the pressure that is coming out from Phantom.
Yeah, especially if you're falling under that pressure. Bloodbath is an extremely useful tool to have. With a tool such as Feint, you definitely need to try and keep that pressure up throughout, so that you don't really have to rely on too many defensives. But really nicely played there from Phantom Pack as they snatch the first victory of the match.
Oh, it will be still as exciting. Maybe 3% is getting warmed up now because Phantom Pack has the advantage of having already played.
Yeah, we definitely have seen a very severe improvement in regards to Phantom Pack's aggressiveness. We've just completely seen the tables turn with how they were treated in the last match with Aftermath, is how they were treating 3% in that match, not really letting them leave their base and just completely decimating them under an amazing amount of pressure there. What we did see, unfortunately, from the side of 3% was a bit of disparity in terms of cooldown usage. There was Protect going out at the same time as Tank LB and Arm's Length, for example, and in Light Party, that is very lethal and puts your healer into quite an uncomfortable situation when the actual burst does come out.
Yeah, small mistake add up quickly here. And I also think that having a Machinist or being a Machinist in this kind of matchup against Dragoon and Bard is really hard because you're playing against 2 rangers. You do want to be close quarter fighting with your knockback and such. But now both are standing kind of back and spamming their range attacks. So you have to position in really aggressively to hit something. And that may really put a lot of pressure on your healer.
Yeah, definitely. As they try and get that first burst out onto Phantom Pack there, really nicely met with a Protect from Environment. As they try and get that kind of burst out onto Angsty, unfortunately, no Protect being able to be used there, and Anxiety going down. Really nice arm's length from Adalric as they try to survive. That Dia going out. Phantom Pack are keeping up that pressure, but it looks like they are going to be okay for now. With Phantom Pack, however, not leaving that base. They are out for blood.
They're running out of additionals and cooldown. Everything is used. Now they just have to tunnel Adalric until they grumple.
Yeah, that Protect thankfully coming back onto cooldown. It'll be interesting to see when Megumi uses it because there is no arm's length for a considerable amount of time. That Protect going out there on Adalric. Phantom Pack noticing that, however, and stopping their burst. Falling back a little bit. They're going to wait for that to fall off, I think, and then go in.
That was really smart. Now, Core is getting bursted, but the Protect is coming out really good, and now they can counter burst and apply back the pressure to get that momentum going again.
Yeah, and they survived, and that burst was healed and survived by Adalric and Megumi there with nice heals and pots, which has put them into a good position, meaning that Adalric can now pop his arm's length and hopefully go in to try and get that counter burst, which they're trying to get out onto Core. Core getting stunned, going low, but managing to survive there. They need to keep pushing now that there is no reprisal, no protect on the enemy team. This will be the perfect opportunity to strike. Really nice protect from Adalric. It seems like they are just trying to space out their cooldown so that they can go in and just try and get a kill on Phantom Pack, which is what they need to try and regain some of the pressure.
Now they have to be on foot with Culling coming, and Aldari still is under a lot of pressure. I don't think he will be managing to go in. But
although Phantom Pack overlapping their protects and their arm's length there, Adalric taking advantage of that as he tries to get an LB out. Kinos going down extremely low, managing to recover with a really nicely timed bloodbath. And it looks like Anxiety is going to get the brunt of the follow-up burst. Kinos going down still extremely low, but Anxiety just can't commit. Trying their best to hit Kinos as they try and kite around the corner. Oh, that protect going out as soon as it could, but unfortunately, just too late.
Sorry that I'm saying that, but you said anxiety, and I would also be have anxiety if I would go in cooling. Being a machinist and getting, oh shit, my healer doesn't have anything.
Yeah.
It's cooling now.
They did a fantastic job though trying to survive there, and they nearly did get that kill. It's really tricky trying to keep up a burst in a high culling like that while you're also the burst target. In those situations, it's very much a kill or be killed. But they did try their best, and they are trying to get that cannon burst onto core, but Environment predicting it perfectly with a nice protect. That reprisal going out as they try to get that extra kill onto Adalric. Adalric managing to survive though with a nice protect there from Megumi. They really need to push in now. There is not that much medals, there's not that many medals between them, and 3% can definitely recover this if they try.
Yeah, but I still feel like Environment feels really comfortable right now. Especially now after Samurai goes down, the pressure is just off and they can keep going and going without really being in danger themselves. Because a lot of additionals will come up and they can just keep going and don't have to fall back in their base and get maybe a turnaround.
And that double LB there onto Adalric was, mwah, it was chef's kisses, really nicely timed from everyone involved with Phantom Pack. And it seems like they are really surviving well against 3%'s bursts here, with core hardly going down at all. That protect going out and now, however, and that reprisal has been used. Kinos using his arm's length, it means that Phantom Pack is extremely low on defensives. This is the time for 3% to really push in and try and steal the game back.
I would love them to pressure the healer right now as really the only thing they could do, and maybe do a quick swap on the tank. But right now with 1 minute left, it will be a hard task to pull off.
Yeah, especially with that tank LB and that healer LB just sitting there from Phantom Pack. But we do have a double LB, that double LB going out from Adalric, trying to get that kill, getting Environment low, but unfortunately not doing it. Being met with a really healthy tank LB there from Sykes. Environment just casually strolling around the walls as he holds on to that protect, not in a rush to use it, although he is getting extremely low, and it probably would be smart, going out right now, trying to get that counterburst onto Anxiety there. Healer LB going out, Anxiety going down. This is looking like it is going to be Phantom Pack's game.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. I think if this coordination would have been perfect with the double LB, they could have potentially turned it around.
Yeah, there was unfortunately just a slight gap from when the melee LB hit and when the physical ranged LB hit. And unfortunately that was enough for Environment to heal up with the use of pots and instants mostly. And that's that for the second match, which goes to Phantom Pack, who have done a fantastic job there of syncing up defensives and their bursts. This means that 3% will not be able to win this match, but there is a chance for them to still draw. And you can see, unfortunately, just in the amount of damage that was going out, Anxiety dying 3 times, it just meant that they lost a lot of pressure. But Anxiety really did try their best to survive, especially around those stairs in that high culling. It was anyone's game at that point.
Environment kind of low on damage, what's interesting, although they were pressuring a lot. I think he was really cautious in this game.
Yeah, it's one of those things where you just need to try and keep pushing in, and it seems like Phantom Pack have really just found a sweet spot in their playstyle where they can comfortably go in, and they're managing to detect the bursts pretty securely there. Every burst being met by a protect or a really solid reprisal.
I think this should still be on their toes, because 3% can still turn it around, and suddenly there we have a draw, like another match we had where the lads were really in trouble.
Yeah, on the other night, yeah, the lads lost 2 and then managed to just take it back with a nice draw. And I think that 3% definitely have the potential here. They have some fantastic players on their team, and they can definitely do that. Unfortunately, it's just managing to try and sync up those bursts and really align those cooldowns at a solid place, because Kinos and Core are taking advantage of all of those times when certain defensives are potentially being overlapped. For example, Protect and Arm's Length, or Tank LB and Reprisal. Phantom Pack are taking advantage of that. They're noticing that. They're waiting for the defensives to fall off, and then they're going in.
I would love them to protect the Martianist a lot, because he's going to be the one who could potentially really carry it. A lot of pressure going on the Samurai right now, but I think that was a soft burst, and they will be swapping.
Yeah, a soft burst again with another overlap of cooldowns. That hit the end of Temperance, and there was a Protect and an Arm's Length both used there. And this could put them into a really tricky situation if they don't get that counter burst on. But it looks like Adaurik is getting pressured around that wall, getting silenced, so he can't use any of his potions, and going down, which is putting Phantom Pack in a really nice position.
It's really interesting going for the Samurai first. Usually you would go for the Martianist, because Samurai properly with the defensive is really hard to kill, especially in the beginning.
Yeah, and it's always really... I hate it in solo queue when I'm a healer and my melee dies. When a range dies, you kind of expect it. They're very fragile and you know that it's coming. But when a melee dies, it's really unfortunate, because you know that they're just going to keep going ham onto your physical range, which is what is happening right now. Angsty trying to survive, that Protect keeping them alive, but Phantom Pack is pushing in. They need to try and get that counter burst out. That feint going out onto Core, but Core managing to survive. Really nice Protect there. Going down low, but still having a really good use of potions and instants there from Environment. They do try to fall back, however, as Angsty is LOSing them pretty successfully around that corridor there.
Yeah, Phantom Pack is losing all of their additionals, and now Core is in a uncomfortable spot and might get bursted.
This is the time, yeah, this is the time that 3% really needs to go in, while there is currently no defensives that really can be used apart from a Rampart. Adaurik going really low, really nice stun and sleep there on Megumi. Megumi managing to purify at the last possible second that they could to keep Adaurik alive. Adaurik getting stunned, so that Protect being met. Really nicely met there. However, that Reprisal was also used, and again, this overlap of defensives is something that Phantom Pack are just going to take advantage of.
Yeah, especially with the cooling now, protecting the Samurai who has Arm's Length ready will be troublesome for your range, because you know your range is the next condition for a secure win. And so even if your Samurai dies, it wouldn't be too bad, because he already lost half his medals.
Yeah, that's the problem when both your DPS die at the beginning. It's just really unfortunate to see, and it does make it quite hard to come back. However, they are trying to get that LB out. That LB going down onto Adaurik. Adaurik managing to survive. Nice Arm's Length there, but again, a Protect Arm's Length Tank LB. This is putting them into a really tricky situation, and they need to try and get that kill to ease up the pressure that is going to be coming out very soon on Megumi's healing.
Yeah, Wolfside going over to Environment, still being really comfortable. Right now, it will be hard. Now they have to pull up a really good double LB, a Cornet one with a good stun, and they might have a good momentum going.
Yeah, right. The LB is going out now. It is going to be really close, however. Unfortunately, Core just managing to survive easily. It seems like they're countering all of 3%'s bursts as hard as they can. But 3% are finally now really pushing in, and we know that the base is Phantom Pack's worst enemy. Core getting hit with that feint and that wildfire, going down very low there. They're trying to get that counterburst onto Angsty to try and relieve that pressure, but Environment's just chilling on full MP, and it looks like they're not going to be going down anytime soon.
Oh, Angsty is pulling back. I think he LOS environment once and now is in trouble. And
Oh, that
with
was
that, it's
unfortunate.
going to happen.
Yeah, unfortunately there was no defensive that could be used. Reprisal and Protect and Repose were all off of cooldown, which meant that there was simply nothing that could have been used to keep them alive during all of that. And when you fall back, it's almost as if you're giving up in that situation.
Definitely, if they would have managed their defensive a bit better, they could have kept going that push. Core was really low, and there was a lot of potential to get that first kill and get that engine rolling to turn around the game.
Yeah, and it seems like 3% are really struggling now. Anxiety getting really low again. No Protect, no Reprisal being able to be used, as they are just going to be probably the burst target for the final minute of the fight.
Are still getting pushed in, and it will be hard to manage to get enough medals. They have to go to a pressure environment. They have to kill the tank, and with no limit breaks available right now, it will be, I don't think, possible to turn around the game.
Unfortunately, it seems like they kind of know it as well. They're trying to get just a kill on Core, but that LB is going out on Anxiety, and Anxiety is going to go down, which is going to secure the game. Pretty hell. Although Core just randomly goes down. They got their final revenge. But unfortunately, it was not enough. With Phantom Pack winning 3 games in a row.
Really? It kind of looks like the classic Feast game where the melee chases the respective range and yeah.
Yeah, just gets caught off guard just ever so slightly. But really nicely played there from both teams involved. And we could see that Phantom Pack had just really warmed up from that game with Aftermath, and they were out for blood. And that is a 3 win in a row for Phantom Pack. And I believe it is actually their first win of the tournament, so that is going to put them on really high spirits. And well done, they deserve it. And really nicely played from 3% there as well, who also had some really fantastic plays throughout the entire thing, but unfortunately did just fall under that pressure there at the end. Core dying at the end was a surprise.
Yeah, but I think it was still a good struggle, and to manage against an enraged team like Phantom is still a feat there.
A good struggle. I love that. Yeah, I love that. I'm going to use that term all the time. A good struggle.
A good struggle.
A good struggle. That's what I'm going to literally do whenever I have a bad game. Oh well, it was a good struggle. But nicely played, and also nicely played from 3% there. But that is a fantastic set of games there. That final kill at the end there on Core was pretty nice, and I think that was just Phantom Pack getting a little bit too cocky there at the end, but they knew that Core wasn't going to be a win condition anyway.
I think it was just trying a power play. Like, look, we are still able to kill. We are still a team that don't give up easily like that and have a good struggle.
Good struggle. I love that. Well, hopefully 3% has warmed up a little bit. They do have some fantastic players on their team, and they can definitely get some really good games in. What we did see there, unfortunately, was just a little bit of miscommunication in terms of defensives going out. We saw a lot of tools being overlapped, whether it be, say, a Reprisal and a Protect and an Arm's Length. You know, whenever you use all 3 of those at once, it really does put you in an unfortunate situation, especially with a physical range such as Machinist. If you have a Black Mage, potentially, you can AoE sleep defensively if you do mess up, say, your Adel. But when all of your tools have kind of been used, you are just waiting to die, unfortunately, for that next burst.
Yeah, especially when you squishy a range like a machinist and just go into the middle to get your burst done, it will be hard.
Yeah, physical range is definitely in a tricky situation, just in general, and we've seen it throughout the Coliseum of Chaos with predominantly black mages kind of leading the pack. And that's purely just because they have so much utility to use compared to a machinist or even a bard. But we have seen some fantastic bard plays, even just tonight, from Core.
I love seeing Bard, honestly. Bard is so underrepresented, I think. And it's really a hard job to play, in my opinion. But if you manage to pull off, you can apply tons of AoE pressure. And the silence is so useful. Not being able to use your pots and baiting out maybe even the Purify of the healer is definitely something really strong.
Yeah, managing to kind of have that ability to chain CC with a sleep and a silence can really put the enemy healer under just a really pressured situation. There's been times where I've misplayed my own Purify and I've been slept and then I've been stunned and then I've been silenced, and there is just nothing you can do. But we'll see how the next game goes. We have got a team that we haven't seen for a couple of days. We have Hypno Squirrel versus 3%. And this is going to be an interesting one. Both teams are ready to go. So let's have a little look and remind ourselves of Hypno Squirrel. Hypno Squirrel, we did see them the other day and they put up some really good games, so I'm expecting nothing less from the next match against 3%. And that is the two teams ready to go. And also, a very exciting update. Please welcome both teams to my favorite, Lichenweed.
Oh my god, I'm so excited. Finally a different map, finally some change up, and now some exciting kids, some exciting base yeah, you know, base camping, let's say like that. And tree kiting.
I just love Lichenweed. It brings back so many memories, and it really is a nice map to play, especially potentially against black mages. Both of these walls, as you can see here, are very wide. So a black mage needs to push in to try and get you, which is putting them in a tricky situation. And I think this could potentially be the tactic that 3% might be attempting to do.
I love the little islands you can see where you get to the bridge, because it's such a dangerous spot, while at the same time the only spot where you want to stand as a range to get behind that wall. But you are so open for anything. A dragoon might jump on you and such.
That's the thing. Especially in a meta that is very currently Dragoon Black Mage dominated. These walls open up a really fantastic opportunity to just LOS freely and also put the enemy caster in a really unfortunate situation and position. Razio popping that Fetter Ward there. Ali going down with the feint. Getting that counterburst onto Angsty. Angsty getting really low. Trying to use those walls to LOS just a little bit as they run back to the Tree of Doom. Honestly, the amount of deaths that have happened around this tree is, like, insane.
But it's so funny. It's like a merry-go-round tree where you just run around and your healer is scratching their head. Like, come on, let me heal. But
and that's what we're seeing is literally this tree being used for LOS purposes, which is what it's for and what it's intended for. And it's put Ali really far into the enemy base. This is a really fantastic map if you think that you can try and get that enemy Black Mage into an unfortunate position. But unfortunately, they are pushing them a little bit too far in with Hypno Squirrel pushing 3% back into their base. Kuro getting extremely low there, trying to hide around the corner, but getting insanely low, having to use Reprisal and Rampart. Oh,
Lord, there is no mercy on this map. There is no mercy. It's brutal. It's when you have that momentum going, you will be pushing, and there's no way for you to run. Kuro, because Megumi died, Kuro really had to put everything, and it was really undeniable that he will be dying without the ability to kite around like on Crystal Tower.
Yeah, unfortunately, 12% getting caught in their own base, and Dalric getting extremely low. Really nice burst there from Ali as they just clench a 600 win there in the enemy base.
Yeah, you know, it's fun to watch, but actually healing yourself is a nightmare.
Yeah, once you get beyond that tree, there is really nowhere to go. You just get completely lost and you get completely backed into a corner. Unlike in the Crystal Tower training map, where you can at least run down the stairs to get back to the middle, here there is nowhere to go. If you don't keep up that pressure, you're just going to be held against that wall and you are going down.
Yeah, I would have loved to see. I think teams have to kite into the enemy base instead in their own base.
Yeah,
so...
yeah, and kiting needs to be done, especially here. There's so many good opportunities to LOS the enemy Black Mage and LOS the enemy White Mage even, to try and stop that sleep, try and stop that Dia. If you can position yourself in a really good spot as a healer, you're going to find it very easy to avoid being CC'd if you just stick around that tree, stick around both of these really wide walls. And it's going to put the enemy Black Mage in such a dreadful position that you can just jump onto them. And I'd love to see, hopefully, 3% just managing to use those walls just a little bit better.
Now, starting again on Lich Beat, maybe we might see a map change for the last game. But once more, we can enjoy that open fight we see like in front lines.
Yeah, it's insane how kind of wide and open these maps are. You know, I miss Lich and Weed so much, especially in the 8v8 when you had like the whole second half of the arena around the back. It was just such a mess, but a funny mess.
I think going to be fun again. If maybe 3% will just push in and go all in, they might to secure a kill this time, because for the enemy there's also little opportunity to play defensively.
Yeah, Ali getting bound there, meeting that with an Addle as they protect that burst that is incoming. This is the perfect opportunity to try and get that counter burst, getting that out onto Angsty. Angsty getting really low with a stun there, unfortunately going down instantly, unable to use any potions. Trying to get that kill onto Ali, but unfortunately the gamble did not pay off.
I think Black Mages are more comfortable in Martinis with the dash and teleport. Because Martinis just stands there and you don't have really many ways to LOS. And that ward is so long, like so broad, that you cannot really LOS the enemy if they're on that small island.
Yeah, Adalric pushing in there to try and get that burst, but unfortunately Ali just counteracting it with an Adel and being able to just counteract burst it completely. Adalric going down, putting 12% in a bad position now, because they can just continue to burst Anxiety and punish them around this tree.
I think it's interesting that Razio was running Featherboard, although the enemy team doesn't really have a lot of CC.
Yeah, Fell Ward is definitely a peculiar one to use. Getting that Trick Attack Dart Burst onto Kuro, a nasty combination there. Dia, Trick Attack, Dart. That is insane. And it seems like no one could kind of stop Razio from hiding there, as he just had free reign across that bridge. He trotted in, he saw, and he conquered.
Definitely. I think now 3% has to put on pressure, a lot of just go in and hit something, because Len is running low on mana, and now it's a good time to turn around.
Yeah, definitely, and with those resources really low, they need to keep up that pressure, but unfortunately Anxi going down once more, which is giving Sign just more room to recover that MP. That really would have been the best place to try and snatch this game back with a nice sneaky counterburst.
I think that should play around more the big wall, because the tree itself is not going to give you a lot of cover, especially for a team that does a lot of hard swaps with a ninja. With that height, now we might see another kill on someone when the trick attack goes off.
Yeah, that Trick Attack and Dart Burst going out again onto Adalric, meaning that this is another 600 win for Hypno Squirrel.
But honestly, what do you do in that kind of situation? That, like, the map just allows you to push so far behind that you are with your backs behind a wall, but there's a ninja running towards you with Trick Attack ready.
Yeah, you've got to try and catch it, unfortunately. And one thing that I'm seeing here is all of the main bursts from 3% are being directly met by Adel, by Arm's Length, by Protect. They need to try and bait out those defensives first and then go in for the big burst, because right now they're wasting a lot of their resources into bursts that are simply being met with just an Adel or a Protect, and it's just not really giving them the kind of pressure that they need to snatch this win.
Yeah, literally this really punishable map. Like, little mistakes are even worse than on Crystal Tower.
Oh, sorry, yes, sorry. My inner French was coming out there. It's really hard to contain it sometimes. You know, my bilingual French skills.
I found it funny that you can also say it's not percent, it's like percent because of couponing.
Oh, percent.
Percent.
Wow. Wow. Beautiful. Such poetry in my ears.
I would have loved to see Razio go faint, honestly, to get even more deletion going.
Yeah, Razio uninterrupted there as they managed to get off another hide, and this is looking like it's going to be another Dart Trick Attack going out on Megumi. Megumi getting stunned, unable to even use a potion, let alone a Protect there. Not managing to catch that Trick Attack, and just hoping that that wall would be enough, and it wasn't.
Yeah, that's what I said. You see the ninja in hide, and you are standing there, oh shit, we don't have walls, we don't have a base to fall back to. What do we do? Now, there you have to react really quite properly. The tank ready to peer, maybe not burst yourself, because the counter burst will not be really happening if it's everything on your healer that dies really quickly.
Yeah, and unfortunately, 12% just getting completely dominated there. Razio going back, he's going to be able to hide again very soon to try and get another burst out. It's just looking like this is not going to be an easy match for 3% to try and recover from.
Now, their team is falling back. They're either baiting or we see they are cleaning the base.
Yeah, it looks like they've just given the base a little sweep, a little spring clean, And Angsty going down, which is looking like this will be another 600 for Hypno Squirrel.
I wish they would have continued trying and really at least pull off one kill to show off your strength. But this map is so brutally punishing that I think it's mentally destroying too.
It's a hard one to play, and especially in the current meta, you need to really make use of those walls as much as you can. But like you said, if you know that that burst is incoming, there is nowhere to fall back to. You've got to try and just keep that pressure up. What we saw there was we could see that 3% could... They knew that that hide and that trick attack was coming, but once you're back by that tree, there's nowhere else to go. But really nicely played there, again from both teams. Hypno Squirrel, a very dominant team there, and clenching a really nice win. Like I said, the really interesting games are going to be between those teams that are around rank 2 and 3 in both Band A and Band B. Aftermath and Aftermath are currently really dominating that rank 1 spot, but there is so much potential for other teams to try and snatch that crown. But again, really nicely played there from all of those teams. Well done indeed. And I appreciate just seeing Lichenweed again. Justice for Lichenweed.
Same. It was a good tribute for the phenomenal map that is Lichenweed.
And what's the other one called again? Not the Crystal Tower Training Ground. What's the other one? Feasting Ground?
The
Is
Feasting
that what it's
Ground.
Called? Yes.
Yeah. Feasting Ground or the Newbie Hunter Ground, I guess.
Feasting Ground is in my opinion, is trickier to play on than Lichenweed. I think. I feel like the walls are a lot wider. There's not really anywhere to go. It'd be interesting to see if we could maybe get some few games onto that map as the tournament progresses. But for now, let's have a little look and see who is going to be coming up next. In the next match, we are moving over to Band B of the tournament. We have Pippo's Hunters versus Aftermath. Gonna be an interesting one. Pippo's Hunters, a team of predominantly newer players, whereas Aftermath currently rank 1 in their division of the tournament. Undefeated, very similar to Aftermath. So this may be a difficult one for Pippos to kind of try and have any impact in, unfortunately. And we are waiting for all of the teams to join, which will be very soon indeed. So far, some interesting matches, interesting games, and like I said, I'm very interested to see how the teams progress during the competition. Phantom Pack started off, for example, losing all of their games at the beginning and then managing to really sweep well. In that game against 3%, all of their bursts were coordinated, the LBs were synced up. There was really nice use of defensives throughout the entire games, and it's really nice to see that those teams are starting to just really sync up together, because that is half of the battle with light party games. You can be the best players in solo queue, but if you can't sync up with the rest of your team, you're not going to have much luck.
Yeah, it's the beauty of a long tournament like that. You get that synergy over time. Usually, most teams disband immediately after having just some scrim practice and then go into one round in the tournament. There's just not enough time to really have that bond like Aftermath or any other team that is really well known and have been playing together for years. That synergy they've been building is way better than any team that is newly formed.
Yeah, that's the thing, is Light Party is a completely different beast to solo queue. And there's nothing that can really prepare you for it, especially in higher end games. For example, going against a team such as Aftermath is it's impossible for teams that are completely newly formed. And with Aftermath is a team that hasn't been formed for too long. They haven't been playing together for too long, and they've had a few team changes and whatnot, but they have synced up extremely efficiently and extremely fast because they have a lot of players that have been playing in the light party circuit for a while now. So it's nice to see how other teams that have joined very recently, for example Phantom Pack and Pippo's Hunters that we're going to see, it's going to be interesting to see how they sync up together on such a short notice. And that is what you really notice in teams that don't play together a lot. For example, in the former games, we saw a lot of defensives being overused, and that's unfortunately just a loss of communication. You need to communicate when you're going to burst, how you're going to burst, what defensives you have up. You need to communicate everything. And if you don't do that successfully, you're going to have a bad time.
Yeah, that's really the hard part of LP. I can only agree, but right now I would be excited for them to shoot a map like Feasting Ground and see a change up, a bit of fresh air.
That would be interesting, and also it can be quite good against experienced teams to maybe put them into situations that they're not as familiar with. Maps like the Feasting Ground, maps like Lichenweed, which when played efficiently and played well, can kind of really punish the current meta, which is black mages, white mages, dragoons especially in things such as solo queue. Jobs that rely very much on ranged abilities and being in line of sight. Things like the tree and Lichenweed, if you can use them efficiently, you can really punish some teams. And I bet that a lot of experienced teams would be potentially caught off guard with some of those maps.
Yeah, because the meta changed so much. I think these maps were kind of designed with a lot of the peeling you had back then, like the tank had cover and such, that you could not abuse the openness so much.
Yes, that's such a good point.
And now we are having potions and overall like more team-oriented gameplay, that it will be really punishing if you're not utilizing every map well with their features.
I really miss cover. Like, I used to love when I would be with a paladin that I really trusted, and whenever I knew that I was going to potentially be burst, I would just run to them and they would cover me completely. I used to love that. The only issue was when there used to be like heavy medals. So like you would get someone like a tank that had 4 stacks of heavy medals and they would cover you. And it'd be like, no, don't cover me because you're going to die. You have all the vulns. And then you didn't know whether to run to your team or run away from your tank. Like one of them was going to kill you regardless. But it looks like both teams are ready now, I think.
Yeah, definitely. So we are going to present the following teams now. I think you know them, but
yeah, we have seen both of these teams, but it will be the first time that they have been playing tonight. Please welcome our friendly band of newbies, Pippo's Hunters. And that is Pippo's Hunters. They debuted the other day. Very brand new team, which is always nice to see. However, they are against the one and only Aftermath. and that is Aftermath. Aftermath, a very experienced team, but Pippo's did have some good games the other day, and they are playing, however, quite a difficult combination of jobs, as you will see when we go in. Hopefully, however, there will be a few surprises, and there is already a surprise that I can see happening for the first time in the tournament. We have the Feasting Grounds, which is gonna be interesting. Definitely gonna be interesting, or at least a nice change of view. I've been spoiled tonight. Lichenweed, Feasting Grounds. I love it.
I'm so hyped. Finally, I have a plot for every map is being played.
This map is insane. It is so big.
It is. Yeah, it's really huge.
Like, it's insanely big.
I think back then you had crates at the start, offensively one,
yes,
and a defense one, and you were like the first minute was just about picking them up and then going in.
Yes, I remember that.
The majority of the fight were either on the bridges, because you were getting pushed in, or at one of the pillars where you just go around. It's kind of like literally, but with more walls, I guess.
I think I see London taking backstep, just potentially so he can jump off the platform a little bit quicker, potentially. This will be an interesting one to see. We did see, however, in the last time that Pippo's played, that they do have a Scholar, which is a very tricky one to play, and unfortunately Lucy was falling under way too much pressure, that they weren't able to get out any broils. And that is really what they need to do, but we can see instantly that they are broiling away, which is fantastic to see, because they need to build up that fairy gauge in the hopes of dissipating. That protect going out onto Laurelie. Laurelie managing to survive with a really nice protect there. That dissipation being very nicely used as well. Hopefully, Lucy will be able to get out just some more bios, some more broils. They can't just rely on Adlos. They need to have those dissipated spells, unfortunately. Laurelie falling under that pressure. London and Zach pushing really far in as they are fighting on that bridge, like you said.
Aftermath is just flexing, honestly. Like, we have seen Spix only on White Mage so far. Now he is trying Astrologian.
And Astrologian is a fun one. It is a fun one to play, in my opinion. And Astrologian can be done really, really well. And it is nice to see a change. However, it seems like Lucy, unfortunately, is falling under that pressure, trying to retreat up the stairs at the side, but they need to stay in because they are going to hardcast onto Gina. Gina getting extremely low. Nice protect and Adlo there. It's not going to be enough, though, unless Lucy can get some broils out to get that dissipation rolling. Adlo in onto Laurelie is unfortunately not going to help in that situation. Those adrenaline boxes spawning there at the back. But it seems like Aftermath is just not going to give up. And Pippo's hunters are having to just stay by those stairs.
But yeah, you see that new this map is just like open, and with not enough experience, you crumble a lot, especially as a scholar. That is a bit harsher when you are falling in pressure and not able to broil enough. You're getting pushed all the way up to the platform, and there you are stuck. You are stuck there for.
Yeah, Lucy just getting CC'd, and their tank trying to run, but unfortunately, this base is dreadful for LOS, and they don't really know where to run. Lucy positioning themselves there in the corner, not being able to get any broils off, but trying their best to try and keep Sky alive. Sky getting extremely low there, managing to get a burst on Spikes.
He died. Oh my god, they managed to get Spikes. The one who would be the least one to die. This is the highlight of the evening.
Yami running for their lives there, trying to get away, getting really low, that feint going out. This would be a fantastic time for Lucy to try and build up some broils and try and get that fairy gauge going. Very so unexpected death.
because I have so much respect now for Pippo hunters not crumbling and getting that kill on Spix that allows them to push back. Of course,
Oh.
now it's just a short moment of fame, but I think it's a really good show that even new people, the new form team can catch teams like the Aftermath off guard.
Like, you can't get too cocky, because the minute you get too cocky, you will end up getting wrecked, boy. And that was brilliant. I absolutely love that. But unfortunately, Pippo's hunters getting bullied once more in their base. Spike's coming in for his revenge as he finishes off with a nice kill there onto Lucy, but really nicely played.
Can you imagine the voice chat in Aftermath team being Spix right now? I would enjoy it.
I need to get that clipped. That was fantastic. But as we can see, like, Lucy unfortunately needs to keep up that those broils, because otherwise you're not going to be able to use any of your skills, and that's why Scholar is a particularly tough one to play. You've always got to be casting broil, even when you don't feel like it's necessarily safe. If you don't cast that broil, you don't get that fairy gauge built up. You are just going to struggle down the line, and the minute you have to start spamming physic, it's already over.
You really want to have that dissipation going, having on, and be always available to use your last trade on your team. Because without that, Outlaw is not going to help out.
Yeah, definitely. And Scholar's just a tricky one to play in general, let alone when you're against a team such as Aftermath, which are just very experienced. But really nice there.
Scholar is kind of shield based, and you have an enemy astrologing who can remove shields. That reduces a lot of potential of keeping your mates alive. But now Spix, the healer guy, is switching to Scholar too, trying to flex out.
Yeah, healer guy switching to Scholar there. London getting rid of their backstep, switching instead for arm's length. Their backstep usage was okay. I could have seen more improvements, so I will be giving London some notes after the game just to improve their backstep usage. But we're probably going to be able to see here some broils going out from healer guy here, as they will be attempting to try and get their dissipation up. Instantly, Sky going down. That reprisal way too late, unfortunately. Lucy trying their best to build up their fairy gauge, but that's the issue with Scholar, is because you don't have any dissipation or any fairy gauge at the beginning of the match, because you have to be in there, you have to be broiling, it means that your team has to be on it, just in case there is that initial burst, because you won't have anything to give them.
Not only that, but you really have to have a good knowledge about the enemy intentions, so you can use that excognition properly. So
yeah, and I mean, a focalized, dissipated excog is extremely powerful, especially if you can get it out before a melee LB. It renders the melee LB almost completely ineffective.
Now they're chasing them around like chicken on the map. That's kind of fun, and trying to get on pressure, but unfortunately it's hard to keep up the healing in an open space like that. And so on, we have a quick 600.
Yeah, unfortunately a steamroll there from Aftermath onto Pippo's, and that means that Aftermath do have 2 out of the 3 wins that they need to be victorious. Again, another team that has gone thus far in the competition undefeated.
Well, they're not called for nothing Aftermath, imitating the Aftermath. I think like the alter ego, the lost brother, the unloved child, but of the same origins.
Yeah, and this is just a brilliant map. I really miss the old maps, and it would be quite interesting if they could rotate these maps, I think.
Wait, you see the match of Aftermath. Look at that healer guy. I don't think he will be healing this round.
Yeah, a very drastic switch there, with London instead switching to White Mage, taking that rescue, which is always extremely valuable in the feast, and healer guy switching to Dragoon. Not very fitting for his name, but he should be called Jump
I don't
Guy.
know about that because it's like the triumph card, like their secret weapon they wanted to use in the finals. But seems like people are too much for them, so they have to already unleash the secret strategies.
Yeah, they got too panicked, unfortunately, and had to unleash the big guns. Laurelie getting burst there. Getting that... Yes!
Amazing. But the coordination was really great because the sleep was on time on Lavine, and the burst with the monk was really good. So
yeah, you could tell that
Cheers.
burst from Pippo's Hunters there was coordinated really well from everyone. Getting that really nice protect there onto Laurelie. That Wolf's Heart going out. Silence from Lucy. Lucy managing to keep them up there with a really nice, powerful X-Cog, but unfortunately going back down. Some broils going out though, which is really good to see, as they try to keep Gina up as long as they can. Unfortunately, that dissipated focalized Adlo not coming out fast enough.
it's really hard because you have to brawl, but you have to utilize your mana right too. Getting the pre-mitigation with the Artlo and stuff, it's really hard to get that right.
Yeah, I mean, even for experienced players, Scholar is just not an easy one to play at all. And it looks like Lucy, unfortunately, ran up the stairs there, and Sky just falls under that pressure. Lucy trying to get away as fast as they can, but it's not going to happen. And it looks like this is going to be another sweep into another 600.
At least the first burst was really good to watch, honestly.
That's the thing, there's definitely potential there, and I feel like they would have a much easier time if they just veered away from potentially Scholar. Like I said, Scholar's probably one of the hardest jobs to play out of all of them in Feast right now. And I've been playing Healer for a while, and I struggle on Scholar constantly. I feel bad when I play Scholar sometimes, because there's just some things that it can't deal with compared to other teams. But that means that Aftermath are once again the victors of the match.
Unfortunately, I don't see any pot usage of G now for that match, and that's really sad that it might indicate maybe already giving up after the initial steamroll.
Yeah, unfortunately, but really nicely played there still from Pippos, who managed to get a couple of deaths. A couple of nice coordinated kills out onto Aftermath, which they should be really proud of, especially with a comp that isn't really ideal in the current meta of the game.
Also, Spix didn't pot at all, if I review it correctly, so it was really funny to watch.
Yeah, there were some interesting moments in that game. Interesting moments. Fantastic backstep usages. You know, decent rescues that really, really did carry the game. But good job. Good job, guys. Nicely played. And like I said, Aftermath still securing that rank 1 of Group B. Undefeated, very similar to Aftermath. And it's looking like we have got the two teams that are potentially in it to win the whole thing.
It will be still exciting to watch. Nothing is really decided yet, but the groups are nearly ending to its end.
Yeah, definitely. And I actually think the next game is going to be one that I'm genuinely very intrigued to see, because I don't know how it's going to play out. So let's have a little look and see who is going to be playing up next. We've seen them both before. We do have Polling to bring back Sister Rosalia's Holy Boobs versus the Lads. Gonna be an interesting one, I think. Both teams doing fairly well. The Lads actually doing really well. We mentioned it earlier. There was a game last time that they played where they were getting pretty steamrolled for the first 2 games, and then they managed to just swap up their comp, have a little class switch around, and just managed to steal the game back for the first draw of the entire competition.
Oh, I have to shake my head every time I see this slide, seeing that name going so long, and then you just have the lads.
The lads.
The lads.
Not just any lads, it's the lads.
The lads.
The one and only lads. So it'll be interesting to see.
Yeah, I would be excited. So maybe we will be going back to Crystal Tower. Or another exciting match on the Feasting Ground. Honestly, I want to see Feasting Ground for the last day again, because it's so enjoyable to see if a team gets pushed back all the way and they're jumping around, trying to kite up.
Yeah, those stairs are deadly. There's nowhere to go. The funniest bits were always when you were in the lead. And like you would just kite around your base, and because the map is so big, you'd like the enemy team would chase you up the stairs, and then you would just jump off the base and run across the arena and do it again on the other side. Like it just turned into Chicken Run.
That's enjoyable, the first times of Feast.
Good old feasting grounds.
So who do you think bet on his winning tonight? Who has the potential to turn a win this time?
It'll be an interesting one. Yeah, it'll be an interesting one. It will depend really on the comp that the lads go in with. They did have a different comp before, where I believe that they had their melees, their DPS completely switched up, and then when they switched to Evray on Dragoon and Barney on Black Mage, that was when they managed to just really take the enemy team by surprise and snatch that final 2 wins that they needed for a draw. So it'll be interesting to see if they stick to that combination or if they change it up a little bit.
Yeah.
It's a possibility. Again, Black Mage, Dragoon, White Mage in particular, it's something that we see a lot, especially in solo queue, but that is because it is just so versatile. Dragoon and Black Mage can hit you from anywhere, and when you combine that Feint, that the Phantom Dart with the Dia, it's so much damage all at once. And really that's why classes like White Mage are so prominent compared to classes like Astrologian, where your main buff, you know, that Lord is held behind RNG.
Also so versatile with the kind of playstyle. Either you can tunnel your target. It is possible with that comp to tunnel a target, or do a quick hard swap with the dart, while being so mobile and being able to play defensively at the same time.
Yeah, Black Mage just has a lot of tools in its arsenal. Aetherical Manipulation, AoE Sleep, Phantom Dart, and just ultimately very powerful skills.
Would you say is this the ultimate try? Would you say this would be the ultimate try-hard comp? Like, are they try-harding?
It's an interesting one, because we have also seen in the tournament how useful something like Bard can be. Having that sleep, that silence from a Bard, means that you can chain CC that silence onto a stun or onto a sleep, whereas there is always that risk of overlapping the Black Mage's Nightwing with the healer's repos, and that is always a potential if you're not really paying attention to it and coordinating who you're going to CC and when.
Must sleep is always really detrimental if the enemy team, especially the tank and the range and melee are cuddling and you are standing away from your team, but your team is getting sleep and you are getting targeted. That's harsh. Yeah,
it's a nasty one, but then that is also the Black Mage's that is how a Black Mage can act really well defensively as well. If they can see that their healer is really struggling under pressure, bam, AoE Nightwing. It's just very useful and very versatile. But before we go into the match and see what jobs people are playing, let's have a little look as the teams are now gathering in at who is going to be in the games. Let's remind ourselves who is in, polling to bring back Sister Rosaria's Holy Boobs. The most fantastic group pictures there. You can tell that a lot of effort went into them completely. They all look divine.
A lot of gravity can be felt from that picture.
You can feel a lot of heart and personality from them, yeah. And please welcome their opponents, the lads. And that is the lads. I feel like these are two very evenly matched teams, and it could go either way. And we are looking, from what I'm seeing right now, similar comps from both teams as well. It'll be interesting to see how this goes. We did see the lads snatch back their draw in the previous match that they attempted. So it'll be interesting to see how they fare against a team that is the same comp, or similar. We'll see if they change when they go in. But I think this will be a nice game to end up the evening with.
Yeah, I would love to have an exciting match now. After these matches today that were a bit one-sided. To close up the evening like that would be amazing. Now
And we are back in the Crystal Tower training grounds. And we are seeing, the same teams. Literally the same combination of jobs right now, with that Gunbreaker White Mage, Dragoon, and Black Mage. However, some variants in additionals being used. We can see that there is a retaliation there from Nakrissa, whereas No Defs is opting instead for the Rampart.
Right, normally you would use Rampart to get that extra defensive, but Gunbreaker is quite tanky, isn't it? Well, still as a healer you want to see your teams have all the defensive use, so you know it's going to ease up more on you.
Yeah, especially in something like Light Party, where a hard swap can come from anywhere at any time. Having access to that Rampart definitely gives your healer just a little bit more comfort. And it means that they don't need to watch you as much. Whereas as soon as that reprisal goes down, it does mean that No Defs, that Nakrissa is potentially open to a hard swap burst.
I don't know much about things, but do you think weapon throw or is better than retaliation if you're going for an offensive or setup?
I don't know. Retaliation has so much potency that can be locked behind it. That burst going out now on Barney. Barney going down quite low, but managing to survive there. However, we are seeing the lads running fairly low on defensives. It is really just relying now on Dodo using their protect efficiently, because if they mistime that protect, someone is potentially going to die. And it looks like they're trying to push in to try and get that burst out onto Uriel there. Uriel getting extremely low, trying to get that cannon burst onto Yura. Yura managing to survive as well, however. Nicely met on both sides so far.
Definitely. And the playstyles of the tanks are quite different too, because you can either peel or offensively stun. And if you manage to get a good offensively stun, you might kill, but next time maybe your range dies and because you couldn't kill stun the dart. So it's interesting to see the different playstyles of tanks and options that presents to us.
Yeah, because really, retaliation isn't something that we see a lot, but a really nice retaliation there as they try and get that counter burst onto that dart burst, which gets Barney extremely low there. Really fantastic use of retaliation there, because you want to use it at a good time, because otherwise you might as well just be taking Rampart. But managing to survive there, getting a counter burst out, really pushing the enemy team back, as they got a little bit scared there themselves of how low they were getting.
So now they're pressuring Deca, getting back that medals, and some people would go even for the melee first, really trying to get that edge, but trying to even out the score when calling a rise to 30 seconds might be a good idea.
Deca getting extremely low, Deca going down, meaning they have evened up the playing field now with both ranged on 50 medals, keeping up that pressure as they try and get a counterburst onto Yura. Yura managing to survive, however. Ocha holding on to that protect, knowing that they are potentially going to need it and not wanting to waste it on something that isn't too big of a burst. But they do need to wash out now because Evray and Uriel both have their LBs sitting there waiting. I would be pretty nervous to go in right now.
Same, especially if I is quite into melee position. I think he is getting ready to cast a good LB, but getting stunned now, trying to get a counter burst on FI didn't work quite out.
Yeah, they're trying to bully Evray right now so that he can't motion lock himself, action lock himself into that LB. All of those LBs ready now on both teams with polling for Sister Rosaria, managing to kind of delay Evray's LB there because you need to time that melee LB perfectly. Because of the animation lock, if you use it when you don't have any kind of defensives or your healer is completely out of position, you're going to struggle. But we are seeing that LB going out now, that caster LB followed by that melee LB onto Yura. Yura going down, really nicely played there, but every game's still really low. Unfortunately, that dart burst not going to be enough on their own to do any real damage.
That was great coordination, hitting the LB to get the damage up buff and then immediately with the limit break. Normally you would have a perfect timing to not leave any room open, but since Bees managed to stun offensively like that, it was a really nicely sync kill.
Yeah, definitely well coordinated on their half. What we're seeing a lot right now as well, as both of these dart bursts go out, is both of these teams are really putting that pressure on. Neither one is giving up that pressure, and it means that they are really all clamored together in the middle, which can be really dangerous when you have got that Nightwing available on both teams to LOS. And now that raw destruction going out, Evray going down really low, managing to survive. Brilliant tank LB there, but is it going to be enough to keep him up?
I think that spacing out of additionals are well done on the Lutz team. They have the tank LB on the right moment, and soon enough we have Protect again. Pressure is a lot on Evray right now, and I think maybe falling a bit back now to give breath and to Dodo Thieves to heal up would be nice to see.
Dodo still holding on to that Protect though, but Evray getting down low. They did not want to use that Protect right there, and this has evened up the game a little bit more, but unfortunately they need to do that pressure and keep up if they're going to try and snatch back that win, because with 50 seconds left, this could be Sister Rosaria's game.
I thought it would have been nice if I would like bait them back into their base, going back and delaying a bit so a lot of defensive will be back online so they can go in right in and get a quick burst on maybe the range or anyone else. But right now I think they should still be trying to go for Deca because he's like the easiest one to kill, and getting a draw might help out to secure a win.
That LB going out, this is their final chance. Unfortunately going out on the tank and not enough damage going out there. It definitely would have potentially been easier to just try and maybe go for that draw instead, and then hope that you can snatch that win in sudden death. But it seems like the first match of the evening for these two teams is going to Polling for Sister Rosaria's Holy Boobs. Nice damage, equal damage from all teams.
Absolutely, we have seen really balanced kind of pressure on both sides because there've been a lot on the middle. Nobody was really pushed in, and I think sometimes you can utilizing that to bait the enemy team.
Yeah, and we also didn't actually see any pressure really onto either healer throughout that game. There was a final burst there onto Otter at the end, but ultimately both teams choosing to avoid the healers on the opposing team, and instead opt in to just keep farming the DPS. I definitely feel like at the end it would have been wiser to potentially just go for a draw. The tank did have a lot of resources available, but again, they don't have ramparts, so there is always that possibility of getting them down lower than you expected.
I feel like the retaliation kind of paid off last game, whereas pressing it stopped all the bursts immediately, because then now the counter burst will be strong if I keep hitting on the gunbreaker. And Nakrisa really managed to survive all game, wasn't really on focus. So just pathing that rampart sitting there is not going to be useful for counter pressure, because you can just run in, press retaliate, and get hit by all the Dragoon AoE and stuff and do extra damage.
Yeah, we actually did see a very good retaliate in that last game. Deca getting stunned there, but that has unfortunately put Uriel into an unfortunate position as they get that dark counter bursted onto them. But really nice use of adults from both parties involved there. Both surviving that initial burst fairly effortlessly.
Well, the first couple of seconds always like that. Press that adult, nothing happens because people wait that out, and then you just fall back and then try to go. But then the healers still have protect, and then you wait again for burst. That's why you see people trying to wait out, draw out all that additionals to get a real good burst in.
That dart burst going out again on Deca. Deca getting really low. No additionals being able to be used on their behalf. It would be quite a good opportunity there to use Reprisal, but they managed to survive. Getting that counter burst onto Evray, who meets it with an arm's length. Going down low, but not low enough. And right now we are on a stalemate between both teams as they are just predicting each other's bursts perfectly.
I think the problem is that Aurel gets a lot of pressure and just can't really follow up. I think after seeing Dart going out, they should press a lot more.
Ooh. Yeah, Yura getting caught off guard there. Wasn't expecting that burst onto him, it seems. Going for the boxes, and unfortunately, the lads taking that opportunity to dive right in there and get that kill. But that was really well played on their behalf. Ocha and Yura did not have time to react, and you could tell that they just weren't really expecting that. Instead, blindsiding themselves onto potentially getting those boxes.
Yeah, when cooling goes up, you have to be wary. Is there an enemy dart up? Is there potential for my healer to heal me? And there are so many factors you have to be in mind before you actually just go in as a Dragoon.
That LB going out onto Deca, really nicely healed there from Osha, but there are no additionals that can be used to help him right now. Deca needs to try and get out to try and have any possibility of surviving. Unfortunately, it just wasn't happening. That protect went out a little bit too soon earlier on, and it just put them into that really unfortunate situation there. Really nice LB from Evray.
It was really hard. Being low on 2000 health only without having, I think Okaku lost all the instant heal, and at that point I think your mate just dies.
Yeah, both dart bursts being protected and healed against. With that Wolf's Heart coming out now, both healers doing fairly decently though, but it seems like it is Ocha's for the taking whenever they can go in and safely grab it.
Now Dodo should grab it with the tank LB. This is the best point in my opinion, because when everything goes off and you try to grab it, and it's really hard. Like most of the time, Wolf's Heart is a good opportunity to bait out the healer in the open.
Ooh, really perfect LOS there from Uriel. Getting stunned behind the wall actually saved him because it LOS'd him from the enemy team, but it doesn't look like they have much left to give. Dodo holding on to that protect, not using it, and I think now might be a good time. That protect going out there, managing to just save him at the last minute, but being overlapped with an Addle. Ooh, this could be a little bit tricky as they go into this culling.
We are getting in the danger zone again. At the wards, getting LOS and such. No, it will be harsh. Fighting on the stairs is really bad.
Yeah, unfortunately, the Protect and Addle being used earlier on meant that there was nothing there that could be used. They were just desperately waiting for that reprisal to come off cooldown, and it just wasn't happening. Evray getting hit by that melee LB. They need to keep that pressure up now, because otherwise they are going to potentially lose this match. With a minute 30 left, these boxes could be vital.
It could definitely turn it around. Now they have to focus on Dodo Thieves. Dodo getting low mana and potentially then have a follow-up kill. Now,
Yeah, Archer's
it's a
sitting
good
really
idea to-
comfortably on their MP
Yeah.
right now.
It's a good idea to draw out all the defensively and maybe now hard swap on the healer. If you see manage to see instant heal going out just now it would be a good time to have a quick swap on the healer.
Oh, this is looking scary now, with the lads kind of falling under that pressure. Decker going down really low, getting that dart burst onto him. If he goes down, this could potentially be the game secured for the lads. However, they are keeping up that pressure. Evray is holding on to that melee LB.
Look how
Decker going
offensive
down.
Uriel was. He was all the way in the base.
Oh, and this looks like it is going to be for the lads. Although Evray has got that melee LB. If he can run in and get that off, it will really just help secure this. But they're holding on to it. Healer LB on the other side isn't going to really help now. They need to push in. And it looks like this is for the lads.
Exciting game. I love it. Now we have that
1-1.
match. We have that match that we were wishing for.
1-1 again, equal kind of damage throughout the teams. Although really nice damage there in particular from Uriel. We are 1-1. This is anyone's game, and close matches as well. There isn't really any telltale signs of one team dominating another. They're both keeping up that pressure. No one is getting pushed back to their base for extended periods of time. We're seeing a lot of clumping together in the middle because no one wants to give back or give up any kind of pressure or give the enemy team any leeway. It's fantastic to see two very equally matched teams going head to head like this.
Yeah, there's a big potential for a draw. The first draw of the evening.
Yeah, I think so as well. It'll be interesting because neither team are changing up anything. They are sticking to the same additionals, the same jobs. It could go either way, and right now it is pretty much coming down to who can get those LBs off at a really good time, because both of these bursts are being predicted really efficiently by both healers. Darts are being met by Protect, feints or anything. It's all being just hit completely optimally, and really the winning chances lie in those adrenaline kits.
Definitely. Now going in, we will see again L going out soon to prevent the first burst, hopefully. But this time we see a red
Ooh, that counter burst! That Addle was just unfortunately too late there from Uriel as he tried to chase in and get that burst onto Decker. Unfortunately, getting a bit too DPS happy there, not getting that Addle out in time and suffering because of it. But this means that the pressure is potentially off of him for the time being.
Yeah, he loves to stand offensively, so maybe they should capitalize on that and just farm Uriel. But I think you really want to secure a win by trying to get FYA once more and then just pressure Uriel for the rest of the game.
Yeah, and they are falling under that pressure. Adel and Protect both being used there, which is a dangerous combination. However, both teams now are void of any kind of real defensive, so this could go down. Uriel getting down to 900 HP, managing to be insta-healed up. It's looking like it's between Deco and Uriel right now.
It was quite low, and I think there's a missing because Uriel couldn't follow up. Maybe we see a nicely synced dart from the end.
Ooh!
The
That was,
Crystal's team.
yeah, that was a very late arm's length, but a good use of potions to survive that. Both teams now without their dart, and it's looking like this could be another kind of LB victory, and this could lead into a culling.
Yeah, now both really got their LB, and we soon get them ready to see a potentially one on the enemy range.
Yeah, and polling for Sister Rosaria's Holy Boobs is coming up to their Dart Burst now, and it looks like they're getting that route onto Uriel. Uriel trying to get up those stairs to survive, managing to survive very nicely there with a Protect from Dodo as they try and get a counter burst out onto Yura. We are going into culling 2 right now. There are no defenses on either team. Yura getting extremely low. The LB going out. There is no way that they're going to survive. Going down extremely low, managing to survive on 100 HP, going into culling 3. Uriel seeming to suffer, going down. Nice.
That is a good strategy. Just pressuring Uriel right now. He seems not to be able to counter back and get off some of the cooldowns that FRA does.
Oh, that was like insane. Surviving that culling 3 melee LB on 100 HP and managing to turn it around to get that kill on Uriel. What a play.
Amazing to see. Honestly, it was really the key to surviving and not giving up pressure, because now they can just keep going.
They can, and that Wolf's Heart is actually looking to be a little bit more useful this match. And Akrista going down instantly. That Protects, unfortunately, way too late there and not being able to use Reprisal in time. That is painful to see. All of that hard work has just gone, and now they are drawn.
Yeah, remember the falling back and you are stuck on the stairs, get CC'd and immediately die? That is what's unfortunate to see.
Oh, that was painful to see. So many medals being lost there. Now they need to keep up that pressure because this has put the lads in a really good position. Every getting burst, but being met with a pretty healthy tank LB there as they try and get that counter burst onto Yura. Yura going down extremely low. That counter burst going on to Every as they waited for that tank LB to go off. It is a melee versus melee battle right now. This could go either way.
Honestly, I think they should just continue pressuring on Uriel, and even though he dropped less medals, I think they really need it for Ochako to keep up with the mana.
Yeah.
Because right now Dodo is really good with that Wolf's Heart.
Yeah, Dodo extremely low on mana despite having that Wolf's Heart shows just how useful it is. Then managing to get that back, Evray nearly dying, but it just wasn't enough. A minute 30 left, the adrenaline box is going out. This is extremely close. What a back and forth game.
Yeah, the tank LB was a bit late, but I guess that's the kind of latency you get when you play from the far away country.
I'm like exhausted watching this. This is insane.
Yeah, so
Evray is
cluttered.
like literally the lads are in a nice position right now. That healer LB and that melee LB just sitting there waiting to be used. And Yura and Deca don't have any choice but to push in regardless, despite that threat. That dart going out, that Protect being met perfectly, but it just wasn't enough. Evray going down. They are now losing.
It was such a good burst target because right now they are not winning. It can decide because it's like only 30 seconds left. The only thing they have to do is maybe pressure a bit and then fall back, just Mario Kart all over the map.
Evray needs to get this melee LB out. He is doing it now, trying to get out. Interrupted. Predicted easily, unfortunately. Deca just trying to run back now. All that they need to do on the blue side is just kite. That dart burst going out, managing to survive.
I love that they are pressuring Uriel so much. And now Dodo don't have mana and Uriel is crumpling. And now that will help out a lot because Uriel won't be able to dish out any counter damage now.
What a game! So well played from both teams, literally. Like, you could see the amount of pressure that was just going out there. Dodo, despite having the Wolf's Heart, was completely dry on their mana at the end. This is now 2 wins for polling for Sister Rosaria's Holy Boobs. If they win this next match, they are victorious. But the lads can potentially snatch this back like we know that they can do to get a draw.
Yeah, capitalizing on retreats and punishing on the stairs, trying to enable Uriel to do damage, and they will definitely be able to snatch a draw here.
Yeah, that last steal at the end there, and putting the medals in a really tricky situation, that was crazy to watch. And I could. It was so upsetting because I could feel that they were holding on. The lads were holding on to their resources for as long as they could, because they knew that they were going to need them. But unfortunately, they just did not use them at the right time, and they suffered because of it. With Yura and Deca just pushing in there.
We have seen the teams clustering up a lot.
Yeah.
Because they have been really trying to get into it, but then there's so much AoE pressure for the healers. Both healers are running out of mana really, really quick.
Yeah, and both of those bursts going out. Very small bursts, not using their big dart bursts yet. Trying to bait out as many additionals as they can with both arms' lengths going down. And Deca's Adel and Drain. That dart burst going out now onto Barney. Barney managing to survive. Very nicely timed to protect there from Dodo. This is the time to try and get in for a counter burst while that Adel is down. But they're holding on to it still, waiting for the perfect opportunity to strike.
I think at that moment, if you see the enemy black mages using the walls really well, and you know they have used the dart, you shouldn't waste your time and just go for another target meanwhile. Because right now the dart is up again and the counter pressure is on Uriel.
Yeah, good use of Adel there though, as it gives them enough security to try and stay in, but unfortunately it just was not enough and they go down.
I really want to see the lads using the opportunity when the enemy has used their burst to go in and not be afraid.
Yeah, they were waiting a long time there to try and find the perfect opportunity to strike. And unfortunately, it didn't pay off. But with 4 minutes 30 left in the game, it could go either way. And these boxes could be a huge factor of how the remainder of the game goes. Uriel managing to survive there, that dart burst. That extra dart burst on a counter burst going out onto Deca. Both teams surviving now. Neither have a dart burst. But it seems like they're falling back a little bit.
It is so sad. Uriel used his dart and then there was a miscommunication either if they would do the boxes or go in. And now with the counter bursts, it will be quite difficult. I think they have to get their synchronization on top, be on sync what they want to do next, and then they can strike perfectly because the potential is there.
And they are falling under that pressure now on the lads, unfortunately. There is no reprisal, no arm's length. Protect is just begging to be off of cooldown. It seems like Evray is in an unfortunate situation right now. And they can't keep that pressure up because they just don't have enough defensives to really stay in. Nicely alternated Temperance there with Dodo, who's probably going to wait for those wings to fall off and then use Protect. Is it going to be enough, though? That Protect going out, being met from that sleep. Gosh, I'm exhausted from watching this because this is just... It could go either way.
It's a lot. I think Evra will die because even though you have the Protect and you eat so much damage, your healer doesn't have any resources anymore. And the only thing you can do is retreat. They cannot keep up with Q2.
Yeah, and with that Wolf's Heart coming up, they need to try and secure that. Both healers are needing that extra MP to try and survive this pressure. That LB coming out entirely now, anytime soon. Oh, yes, the Adrenaline Kit going to Dodo, who we saw really use that MP well last match, but was struggling even despite having the Wolf's Heart. That Dart Burst going out onto Evray. Nice tank LBs there from both parties involved.
You know what's funny to see, because we didn't see it, but Nakrisa switched to Rampart because of the death. I would guess.
Oh yeah, which is in my opinion, a smart way to go. Although their retaliation usage was pretty nice. That LB going out now into a culling 2, going out onto Yura. Yura going down. Nicely done.
Hold on that LB for 2 minutes. For whole 2 minutes here, hold it back to get into the culling and get a counter kill. That was really a good LB.
Oh, and those LBs in high culling are just... Sometimes it's impossible to heal against, especially when you're that far into a culling. There's just no way to really defend yourselves against it. You know it's coming, but there's nowhere to run. Decker going down. He just couldn't get to the corridor in time.
Yeah, they can't be lay back and just chill in the base like that. They have to keep on the pressure to win, but because now the lads are in the advantage.
Yeah, and with Uriel holding on to 25 medals, he is no longer a win condition. He is only a draw condition. So this means that he is in a pretty good position and is probably feeling a lot more comfortable to stay in. That dart burst going out onto Evray, really nicely met there with an arm's length. They are trying to get that counter burst onto Decker. All they need is really just one more kill, and it could potentially secure this game for the lads.
Are we seeing a draw? Are we really seeing a draw?
Nice.
I think we are.
Yeah, it's looking like the lads have done it again, where they are just stealing the games and managing to clench back onto that draw. Really nicely done.
Yeah, the smart strategy to lose lots of metal as a range and then being able to just go in, because there is no pressure on Uriel anymore, and Efrai managed to use his defensive quite well.
Yeah, and with Uriel only being able to drop 25 medals, he's pretty safe. They are trying to get that burst out onto Dodo, but it is not enough. Decker going down, getting stuck there in the corridor as he tries to push in. It looks like the lads have done it, and they've managed to secure a pretty healthy draw.
I would have screamed if they would manage to land a kill on Dodo.
Oh, that would have been so painful to watch at the same time.
But it is the first draw of the evening, and
the lads are like
really
the masters of a draw. Like they just constantly manage to snatch back any kind of like time that you think that they're gonna lose. They just snatch it back at the last second, meaning that this is their second draw of the competition.
I think the mid game is a bit chaotic, where they kind of get like out of sync and don't really have the coordination what to do now, and then later on they kind of snap back together and manage to play really well as the team.
Yeah, they don't seem to be really... They don't get disheartened. Sometimes you can see with a lot of teams is when they lose, you can see that they get a little bit disheartened and they start to lose a lot of confidence. Whereas the lads, despite potentially losing or being quite far behind, they just keep going and they don't give up that pressure. Really evenly matched teams there and fantastically exciting games.
Yeah, you notice they have the trust into each other.
Yeah, they definitely have a lot of trust in general, and that's what you need in those games. Fantastic job, guys. Really well played. I'm exhausted.
It was a really exciting match, and I loved to see these matches where you don't know how it's going to end, where you are excited for a potential comeback.
Yeah, and this is why these kind of games are just like between the second and third place kind of teams. They're just really evenly matched and really exciting, and it could go either way. But it looks like that is us done for the evening, and we left on a high. We left on a high, so well done to all teams involved tonight. The next stream, however, is not too long away. Tomorrow you will be joined by Barney himself and London, I believe, on Sunday the 16th. And there will be some pretty good games, I'm hoping. We have from Group A, 3%, Icarus and Pure Luck. And from Group B, we have Pippo's Hunters, Restart, and polling to bring back Sister Rosaria's Holy Boobs. That's going to be an interesting one because we're going to actually have, I believe, both of the newbie teams playing against each other for the first time. So that will be really nice to watch for them.
Yeah, you should tune in, definitely. It stays exciting and it stays really fun to watch.
And that is it for the evening. But before we do finish, we do just want to end the stream on even more of a high by singing Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to Meryl. Happy birthday to you. Clap, 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 clap. They've been begging me to do the song all evening, and I was like, no, I'm going to do it at the end. We're going to leave on a high. Happy birthday to Meryl, who is one of the organizers of this amazing event. Please send her lots of love and well wishes. And a huge thanks for just organizing. Yeah.
To the organizers, to Kiwi, who was always doing a fantastic job with the slides and management. And especially a shout out to Dane for providing us with these amazing slides, amazing graphics for us able to use for this tournament. And also a pleasure casting with you tonight. I had a lot of fun. Now, as you can see, you can thank our sponsor, Rival Wings, for helping us with this amazing event. And tune in, don't forget to queue up for that, and maybe join their Discord.
Yeah, thank you to everyone who has contributed to whatever it be throughout the tournament, whether it be through donations for the rewards, just by advertising us, or just by viewing and having a good time, because we are having a blast, especially with some of those games. And tomorrow is going to be a very interesting one as well, as we are inching our way closer and closer to the finals. But until tomorrow, my friends, I wish you all a fantastic evening, and thank you for joining us. Have a fantastic night. Ciao!
Good night!